Hi guys, welcome back to the Simplicity Sisters. Today's video is on a topic that I personally am super invested in, so I hope that you find it helpful. Today we're doing another collab with The Minimal Mom. Thank you, Dawn, for including us on this fun playlist. Make sure that you check the link in the description to check out all the other videos on this topic. It's gonna be so helpful. I cannot wait, especially to see the videos about book storage, utilize different ways of storing books, particularly. So this video is gonna be about books, magazines, and board games, how you keep them minimal, how you declutter them, and just how you manage that category in your home. It can be a really big one. For us, it's a very important category because we really love, especially books and games. So can't wait to get into this with you. This video has been a series of unfortunate events because I was set up outside, the lighting was great, it wasn't even that hot, but this dog down the street just kept barking and barking. So I was not able to continue outside, so now I came inside. You know, it's just, for me, half the battle of making a YouTube video is getting my hair and makeup done, so at least I did that much. So here we go, let's see how this goes. Before we get started, I am gonna link a couple videos about books in our description just from the past year. Caroline did one, I did one. We both love books. We grew up in a family that treasured books, loved reading, and just, we get it on both sides of the family. It's a very big deal for us. We were also homeschooled. As we've mentioned, homeschoolers tend to really value books, you know, all kinds of books. So that's definitely been a big focus in our homeschool journey as, you know, my family has grown up, value placed on books. So we do have a couple videos on books, and I'm gonna link them in the description if you wanna check those out. And I just wanna get it out of the way. Magazines, if you happen to be someone who collects a ton of magazines, I understand. I have been there in the past, but I've decided magazines are just not a priority for us. It's not something I really have time to read or look at, so I don't have any more magazine subscription. But sometimes I even felt guilty for not reading the magazines, which is just ridiculous. So I've quit subscribing to magazines. The exception is my 9-year-old son does get several magazines. He has like the Ranger Rick magazine, and I think he gets another one, not highlights, but one of the similar kids magazines. I do feel like it's really different for kids. They really look forward to getting something in the mail, and they will pore over them and reread them. When I was a kid, I reread my highlights for literally years, and we kept them on our shelf with the books. So that's different, that's fine. But as an adult, unless you are referencing those constantly, chances are you probably don't need to keep them. Chances are you probably don't need to subscribe to them. If you do have a big collection of magazines, a couple things you can do is donate them to schools. They can use them for art projects. That's what I've done in the past. I've also donated them to the YMCA. They can use them in their lounge area for reading materials, or also in the kids center for art. Most of the YMCAs will do something like that with them. And the third option is nursing homes and retirement centers. They like to have extra stuff for the residents to read. So it's another great place you can drop them off. Typically, I guess maybe call in advance, but for sure your kids' schools will most likely take them if nothing else. So I recommend just kind of wiping that category out of your home. For the most part, it's just not something that most of us need or really are going to use in the future. All right, so let's talk about games. My family also plays a ton of games. We actually get that on both sides as well, and we do play them a lot. So as far as organizing and decluttering games, I'll link a video for my school closet declutter, which I've done so many times. It's just a very high traffic area in our home because we keep all our school supplies in this coat closet. It's our front coat closet that we converted to a school closet, and up above we have games. The problem with it is that it's hard to get the games down if you are not my husband, who is 6'4". The rest of us can kind of struggle to access the games, but it is it's a convenient spot other than that. So as far as games, I just recommend keeping them neat. I actually kind of like that the kids couldn't get to the games themselves. So I would have to get down the games for them over the years, especially when they were younger. We never lost any pieces to any games. As a kid, like I know that we would kind of get the games out and like the pieces would get shuffled or missing, or maybe we would play with Monopoly money in our kitchen, toy kitchen. I'm just saying that we did that as kids. So one of the things, having them up on a high shelf has kept our games intact, and we haven't actually, I don't think, ever lost any pieces to a game. So that's really awesome. So in that respect, it's kind of nice to have them up out of reach, and we just get them down as needed. But we have also just gone through our games multiple times, just kind of seeing what are we playing with now, what has kind of fallen out of favor, and just keeping the ones that are honestly played frequently. So although we play games a lot, we tend to play some of the same games over and over, and we just find ones that are really good for the whole family, that we can all kind of enjoy at the same stage. Now that my youngest is 9, there's a lot of games that the whole family really does enjoy. So it's a great stage now that he's a little bit older. And the games that are for younger kids, when my son didn't want to get rid of some of those, like Candyland and some of the more preschool games, we just talked about, we are gonna pass them along, and you can play those games with your younger cousins. They would love to play with you, so you'll still get to play Candyland and Chutes and Ladders and some of those younger games. And so that's been an easy way for us to just kind of like coax him into letting go of some of the games. With my kids, I really don't push them to declutter their stuff. As I've talked about in the past, for us, it's more about the house overall and my stuff and my routine and my productivity. The kids can keep their stuff. I just don't push them towards minimalism at all. I really don't. Sometimes I probably should. We are definitely game prone. So especially since I've been able to pick some of them up from the thrift store. So it's not always a big investment to try a new game. So I admit that it's definitely been a struggle in the past. But, just we get rid of the games that we don't play and we keep the games that we do. And hey, if I am, get rid of a game and I regret it, I can get it again. Games are not a huge investment. So to me, it's like a pretty easy decision. Keep the games that you play and play them. Make time in your family's schedule to play games. We absolutely love playing games. I will link a few of our favorite family games in the description just for y'all to check out, because we just started playing a new game called Splendor, which is really fun, and I really like that younger kids can play it easily, but it's still challenging and fun for teens and adults. So I'll link a few of those in the description as well. Okay, definitely save the best for last. Books. Books are my favorite possession, my favorite thing. Man, who invented books? God, right? I don't know. We are very grateful that the libraries have opened back up after COVID-19. It's kind of gone back to a little bit more normal with the library, and we can browse again, which has been fabulous. So we homeschool. So my kids don't have access to a school library. So I've always been very intentional about visiting our local library. So we really try to keep our book collection current as far as what people are reading currently. If my son is into something, all those books are available to him, and I just keep them on the shelf. I buy books used. If we want to own something, I look at Better World Books. I look at Amazon used book listings and eBay, and I just find things that he's interested. I go to book sales, I go to yard sales and thrift stores and find the books cheap. I stock up his shelves with what he's interested in, and then when he has outgrown it, I sell it or donate it. So we just try to keep his collection of books very current. Like what he's currently reading is what we try to keep on the shelves. For example, you know, we go through and get rid of the things that he's just past. Like he's so past Dr. Seuss, took all the Dr. Seuss, you know, some of those I saved for grandchildren. I'll admit it, I saved a few books for grandchildren, but for the most part we did get rid of them. So I do have a few bins of books in our attic that are saved for the future, for grandchildren, or just books that I feel like are too hard to find to let go of. So things that I don't think are easily replaceable, I keep those in some bins in the attic. So hopefully either one day we'll have space to have them on the shelf. I do love the look of shelves full of books as well. So I think that's a beautiful way of decorating, is just shelves of books, especially if they're books that you're reading, not just for show. But either that or we will pass them on to, you know, cousins. Caroline, her new house is going to be bigger, and I imagine, suspect, / know, she's going to have a lot of book space. So I imagine some of the books that I've been hanging on to will probably go to them because they will have that space to store them. So, you know, it's a struggle. If it's something that you truly love, I think managing the collection can be really challenging, but I guess my advice is cut back on the categories that are easy. I've said this in other videos as well. If you have a category that is very hard for you to let go of, things that you just aren't sure about, things that cause you to really pause and think and, you know, just you feel like you just want to keep it close, I think that's fine. My recommendation is to go to the easy categories, the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, and get rid of that stuff, y'all. Go to the kitchen and get rid of things that you just know you're not going to use. There are so many things that many of us keep, knowing, honestly, this is not going to get used. This is just like a guilt keep. Stuff like that just needs to go. So if you let go of the stuff that is easy, then it's okay to hang on to the books if they're hard for you. That's my take on it. Please let me know in the comments how you organize, how you declutter your books, how you keep them fresh, how you keep them relevant to your life, and how you decide what to let go of and what to keep. I would love to hear about it. So that's it for books, magazines, and games. Thanks so much for watching this video, Caroline, and I really appreciate it. This summer has been so much crazier than I expected. I really had planned to spend a lot more time on YouTube, and it just didn't happen. So it's okay. I'm not gonna hang on to the guilt. I'm gonna declutter the guilt, and I'm just gonna move on. Caroline is, like I said, in the big transition phase of moving, so I hope that she will be set back up to video in the future soon. It will be a while. They have a lot of remodeling to do before they move into that new house. So thanks for watching our video. Make sure you check out the other content linked in the playlist. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you live simply and enjoy every minute.